back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen. Folks, my first guest tonight is an Oscar-nominated actor you know from Call Me By Your Name, Lady Bird, and Dune. He now stars as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown.
And I tell it and think it and speak it and breathe it and reflect from the mountains so our souls can see it.
This is your dream. Folk music reaching everybody.
But I'll know my song well before I start singing. And it's a hard rain gonna fall.
Please welcome back to The Late Show, Timothée Chalamet.
All right. Sweet.
Yes. Can I get you another sweater?
No, it's cold in here, man.
It is. We like to keep our guests crisp.
Yeah, it's cold outside and it's cold in here. So
Yeah, well,
figured I'd get warm.
You're welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me again, man. This is a movie I'm absolutely the proudest of in my career. And
you have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
But I agree, this is an extraordinary performance and an extraordinary movie. Like, you are swept along these 4 years from 61 to 65. You are like strikingly reminded of what those years were like for the United States and for the world and for music and for what Bob Dylan contributed to that in such a short period of time.
Absolutely. It's as much a movie about Bob Dylan's early life from 61 to 65 as it is about the United States at that time, Greenwich Village at that time, a sort of fraught political environment.
And a beautiful reproduction of Greenwich Village, too.
I agree.
How familiar were you with Dylan before you got this gig?
Truthfully, not very educated. It was a friend of my dad's was a Dylanologist, had a striking portrait of Dylan on his wall growing up, but knew little about him. I got approached with the material and I YouTubed Bob Dylan, and before his music even popped up, there were these press conferences that popped up from 1965 where he's so confrontational in his media appearances and he's so elusive and mysterious. And as someone who is very obedient in his media appearances. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Wonderful
Good to see you. Good to
Timothée
see
Chalamet,
Stephen
everybody.
Colbert, Stephen Colbert, man.
Is it tempting?
Yeah.
After watching that, is it tempting to go, maybe I'll be aloof and mysterious?
You know, I've already established this thing. So if I did, I think I would, I'd explode.
Feel free for one of the answers that we do tonight to be completely aloof and mysterious, okay?
I won't tell you when.
Don't tell me which one. Okay. But so you don't know that much about Dylan. You get to know him sort of as a personality by studying him as a public persona. You learn the music. But how long did you have to get ready for that?
Can I talk to my astrologist real quick? She's telling me 5 years.
5 years?
5 years, yeah.
What they gave you 5 years to learn the songs?
Well, we were supposed to do it in 2000. Now I'm back to being me. Now, it was supposed to be the summer of 2019. We were supposed to shoot it. Excuse me. The summer of 2020, we were supposed to shoot it. Then the pandemic happened. But throughout all that, I got to keep working on the material. Then our director went to direct another movie. I went on other projects. Then we were supposed to do it the summer of 2023. Then the actor strike happened. And then I started to think, man, is there like a hex on this project, on this material? And then we did it the following summer, last summer. And it was a relief. I felt like I was getting something off my plate, I've been working on for so long.
You did 2 Dune movies
in between.
In the interim.
Yeah.
And here's a photo of you on the Dune set. Here you are on the Dune set.
On the set of Dune.
There you are. Is it Dune 1, Dune 2 we're talking about?
That's Dune 1. That's Paul Atreides Dylan right there.
There you go.
Yep.
There you are. And I understand we have what we call in the business an exclusive. You were kind enough to bring a video from the Dune set. This is you in your Paul Atreides, like attire, like formal Paul Atreides, court
formal Paul Atreides, exactly.
And you're practicing. What are you singing here?
This is It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry, with some Dune lyrical variations by me.
Jim?
Don't the sand look good in absence of the sea? But don't my people look good when they're coming after me?
No. That was, I'll preface that. That was 4 years ago. That was early on in the process. So now I can really, no one hand me a guitar over there.
Yes.
But with AI,
You know they all want to hand you a guitar
Yeah,
because you told them not to hand you a guitar right now.
Can you guys AI my hands?
Sure. No, but
just
you
like-
don't have to. That's the amazing thing,
Yeah.
is that people don't know this yet, but it's not only just you singing and playing, and also Edward Norton.
Yep.
It's not just you recorded doing this. You're playing live to camera.
This is all live to camera, which was sort of ignorant and foolish because there was the fear from the music production side of the movie that if you play in different tempos for different takes, they won't be able to cut between them, and you might not just sound good. And it's a director's worst nightmare to confront the ego of the actor and say, "Hey man, you're just not sounding good," But I had Edward Norton as the devil on my shoulder, and he said, "Listen, man, you sound better live." And something had clicked in my voice. And obviously, when you're playing, it does something to your voice. And something had clicked. The pre-records we did in Los Angeles in a studio in Burbank, and I'm trying to. The worst thing we could have done with a Bob Dylan biopic is sanitize it, is make it sound clean, or this was a man from iron ore country, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Hibbing, Duluth. You hear the cold country in his voice. So I didn't want to be a New Yorker recording in Los Angeles, decimating that music, man. I wanted to honor that legacy. Truly, man, this is like an American hero, an American great, one of the fantastic artists of our time. This movie's a humble bridge. It's a gateway to hopefully anybody who's not a fan to discover it.
Well, that's one of the things that's best about the movie, besides your beautiful performance and the story that it tells and all the other performances in it, is that you do Dylan so well that it makes you want to go listen to more Dylan.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
I from the bottom of my heart.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Timothée Chalamet, everybody. Stick around.